reality, so that as a whole, our internal reality is linked up.
So give us an idea of what that meeting might look like. So you have your entire team on a Zoom call, around 30 or so people.
Yeah.
You're discussing a business project, something that you have to get out. So obviously you are having the usual logic and project timeline discussions and resource allocation, but you're doing something else. What is that something else? Take us through it. Is it gratitude? Is it intention?
There's a lot of intention. It's always firstly connecting to the grander vision. So with these calls, I run only 4 of these a year. So I do the quarterly ones, and then my team leaders and management run the weekly ones that click in from there. And so we're always connecting firstly on what is the vision for that quarter, and then what is the vision for the year. So we're connected in on that, and then from that place, we're looking at, okay, what are now the pieces that slot into that quarter and then slot into that year? Great. What are the results that we're calling in? And then we're looking at, okay, cool, because obviously we're always looking to generate bigger results than the last time, right? If we're shooting for this, then how do we really feel about that? Do we feel like that's easy and possible, or are we feeling a little bit worried about it? Is there resistance? And, one of my mentors said to me a long time ago, she said, Regan, if there's a vision you're looking to call in and it's not yet in your physical reality, then there's something blocking you or stopping you in your internal mindset. And so we dig in and we look at, okay, like, what are you guys worried about this? Which pieces do you feel are not going to work? And we start bringing that to the surface and shifting it so that at the end, everyone feels, yes, not this is happening, this is done. This is already done. The result is locked and loaded. Now we just get to participate and co-create and show up to speed it up. Their role is not to make the results happen. Their role is actually to surrender to the results coming through and actually just facilitate it happening faster.
Do you have any rituals for starting this conversation?
In terms of the calls?
Yeah.
The big thing is really, it's just opened with gratitude firstly. It's always a reflection of what's working really well, what happened in the last week, what happened in the last quarter. Definitely recognition as well, really recognizing where people have gone and created amazing results in this process. And then from there, that's when we start connecting in with the vision and the other pieces. Yeah.
I see. And you have people surface whatever are their doubts, whatever are their worries, whatever they feel may not work, so that you can pluck those away. Exactly. And everybody can be in the right state of mind, of positive expectancy towards this vision.
Exactly, and chances are if one person's voicing that and feeling it, it's a collective, so it's in there under the surface unconsciously for the other people.
Now I noticed that you practice a lot of deliberate intention practices. Are you doing any of that with your team? Like, you have this goal to launch this new product. Do you have the entire team meditate and intent on that goal?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we connect, we go through the energetic architecture process, we use all the tools.
And that's the same process that you shared in your stage talk at Pine Valley University. So you're now doing it as a team.
Exactly.
And you're reading that out, you're guiding your team through it?
Members of my team do it as well. So we now have people trained that can do that and can guide that through. So I do something like that on the quarterly, and then I have other team members doing mini versions of it throughout the weekly ones.
So let's go deeper there. So you have this product that you are launching. How often would a team come together to do the energetic architecture process?
So we definitely do it quarterly, and then from there we do it probably once a month, because every month we generally reset our launches which are going on with the product. So whenever there's a new piece that gets to be launched, we're launching anything between 3 and 7 products a month, right? So we set them all up at once.
And is everyone doing this as a group at the same time? Concurrently, across the world?
Exactly. And
with you guiding them through Zoom?
Yeah, or the team members guiding them.
And Zoom is just a teleconference service.
Exactly, yeah. And
so this is incredible. So you have an entire team of 30 plus people coming together, meditating, accessing altered states, and applying the energetic architecture process towards the company's vision for that month.
Exactly. And even if they're not on live, that's what I was going to say, if they can't make it because it might be 3 in the morning in their time zone, they tune into the recording and they go through the same process because they're still a part of that field and linked up. There's no time or space, so they don't have to be on live to make it happen. Yeah.
So that itself is a really interesting revelation. It'll be absolutely fascinating to try that as a business. Now, the next thing I want to ask you is, beyond energetic architecture, for people who watch your talk, what are the next level ideas that you could share with us?
Yeah, definitely. Look, there's lots of pieces to the energetic architecture that we can dive deep in, and one which I believe is really important is this element of time travel. And I know this may sound like a very woo-woo, crazy thing to say, but trust me, this has helped me so much in terms of generating financial results and generating results in my business. So the core thing around this really is understanding that time is an illusion. Okay, it's illusion, it's a construct, and often we're finding ourselves ruled by time. How many times do you say, well, I don't have time to do that? There's never enough time. And we find ourselves saying these beliefs and these constructs, which means that we create a certain perception of time, which then often limits our results. So if instead we can stand aside and observe time and say, what if time was on my side? What if time was timeless? What if I could actually create anything in any given moment? What if I could connect to my past and rewire it right now? What if I could connect to my future and intentionalize my future right now? Then all of a sudden you have total freedom of the scope to really create the reality you desire.
So what are your beliefs about time in relation to building a business?
Definitely. Well, I believe there's always enough time. I believe there's always enough time for everything I want to do in the business. I believe that everything always gets done. I believe that there's always enough time for myself. I believe that the more free time I have, the more free time I have, right? And I believe that everything happens faster and faster and faster and with more and more ease.
Now, how many hours a week do you work?
Look, I have multiple different businesses, but in this education company, it's averaging about 2 hours right
2
now.
hours a week, and
Right.
this is a company doing $8 million a year.
Exactly.
And you spend 2 hours a week on it?
2 to 3, max.
What are the other companies that you have?
I have an app company, I have a social media company, I invest in crypto, I have a property company, so yeah, I have many different businesses, yeah.
So I'm noticing a couple of things over there. Number one, you've put these businesses on autopilot.
Right.
They seem to be running well. Now, do you have a CEO in charge of every business?
Yes.
And the CEOs are using the same tools you are using?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So your job is to set the vision for the business?
Yes.
Or are you completely hands-off?
My job is right now to set the vision. The CEO then creates the expectations in order for how the vision is going to be manifested, and then their job, quite simply, is to inspect what they expect.
Explain that.
Okay, so in a scenario in a business, I would say, okay, my vision over the next year is to generate X amount of dollars, it's to impact this many people, it's to be on this stage, whatever the goal is, right? The CEO then goes, okay, cool, well, here are my expectations around this. We're going to expect that we do this many launches, we're going to, spend this much on marketing, and they start fleshing that out. They then delegate that out to the appropriate departments and the team, and then their job simply is to inspect those expectations. So they will say, marketing, this was the expectation, I'm inspecting this, how's it going?
That's an interesting
Right.
concept.
But it flows through the whole
Is that something
team.
you created?
Yeah. And this is my model for how I do this, because all I'm doing is I'm then inspecting my expectations with the CEO, and I generally only talk to them, right? Unless I'm congratulating someone and telling them they're doing well.
So when you said there are 35 people working on your total businesses, these are all the businesses combined?
No, that's just in the education company.
Okay, so just that 35-person business, you only spend 2 hours a week on?
Exactly.
That's remarkable. Now, altogether, how many people do you employ across all your businesses?
Across the businesses, it would probably be about 60, probably.
60, and you're the founder of all of these businesses.
Yes.
So in an average week, how many hours are you working?
I'm probably, per day, I'm probably doing roughly 7 or 8 hours, and that's by choice because, as an entrepreneur, I free my time and I don't want to just go and lie on a beach. I want to pour that back into something I'm passionate about. So it could be more, it could also be less if I chose. I do have some days where I just completely clear that, but
and that's a very, very, very important distinction, because the myth out there is that it's about hard work, it's about hustle.
Right.
And that's where I see people waking up at like 7 a.m. and then not getting home till 11 p.m. Thinking that's normal, and that is so dangerous. What I notice about you, and this is how I run my businesses as well, you choose the time you want to spend on your business.
Exactly.
And you don't have to spend that time. If you wanted to scale back, you could do so.
Exactly.
In my case, the way I run my businesses is I actually block out maybe 60 hours a week, but that's by choice.
Exactly.
And on a given day, I'll work around 8 to 9 hours. But sometimes at the spur of a moment, I may decide that I want to go off on a 1-week holiday with my family.
Right.
And during that time, just work an hour a day.
Exactly.
And everything still works out. And I found that this method, working less and having that freedom, actually caused greater business growth for me than my old way of doing things, which was the myth of the hustle. That was like the first 5 years of me being an entrepreneur.
Exactly. And there's a huge difference doing that by choice and intention or working because you feel like you have to.
Now in my case, what pulled me out of that myth of hustle was I ended up stumbling upon a book called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And I took a seminar, and I realized how flawed my thinking was, right? And my partner had a Stanford MBA, and he too, I remember turning to him in the middle of the seminar, and he was bawling his eyes out because we realized that for 5 years we were operating the dude with a Stanford MBA under the wrong principles. And within 8 months of taking that seminar, from May to December 2008, Mindvalley grew by 400%. That was a 4x growth. And the difference was we stumbled upon what you're talking about. It was all about the mindset.
Exactly.
Which is why I think this conversation is so important to have, guys, with any entrepreneur who's trying to get his product or service out. It's not about the time you put in, and you got to focus on the mindset.
Yeah.
So a couple of things, Reagan. How do you decide when to work and how many hours you choose to work a week?
Definitely. Well, look, I'm always linking up the external 20%, the action, to the internal reality. And I'm always making sure that any action that I take is actually aligned. Like, I'm much more interested in doing 1 hour of work that's going to create massive results rather than working for 10 hours and hoping to get somewhere. So everything I'm doing is very intentional. So when I'm looking at my internal reality and my vision and everything that I'm calling in, I'm getting this to an internal place where I know that it's done. It's not a question anymore of what do I need to do to make it happen. It's already happened. It's locked into my future. I'm fully grounded in that. And then from this place, I'm asking myself, well, what can I now do to just accelerate the process, to have it show up faster? And from this place, I'm writing down, okay, cool, well, this would be a great intentional thing to do, or I'd launch this, or I'd hire this person, and I get clear on these action steps, and then I look at, okay, cool, what's the time required to do that?
I see. And you've expanded from one business to multiple businesses. So your biggest business has 30 employees, but you have these other businesses ranging from crypto to social media to apps. How do you decide when to go from one business to opening a second or a third or a fourth?
Look, I really do it on intuition and feeling, and I really do it on asking myself, is this idea of the highest right now? Is this idea in total alignment? Is this idea going to, again, generate more freedom on the long run, or is it going to take away from that? You know, I have people coming up every second day wanting to partner with me, some idea, I know you have the same thing vision all the time, right? And some of them are great opportunities, but are they the right opportunity for me right now? And you know, the interesting thing is, I'll use the example with the app company, and this is a good thing to talk about, because this stemmed from a challenge that I was looking to solve within my business. So I was looking at my email marketing and looking at open rates and, you know, click-throughs and all of this, thinking, wow, that's really not that good when you look at the data, and then comparing that in the industry and realizing that the industry as a whole isn't that good. Like, email marketing is kind of dead when it comes to a lot of these things compared to social media. And so I started looking at, well, we have this email list, how do I communicate better with these people? And I thought, well, okay, what if I could actually get these people on an app and have everything in-house and, you know, have all the products and logins and everything within the same system, and be able to send people push notifications to communicate with them. So I thought, well, great, I'm going to, you know, find someone to build an app. And I spent 6 months with my team looking at different app companies, going, okay, well, this one's all right, but it's missing these features. And this one's okay, but it's overpriced. And this one's all right, but we can't integrate that. And there was no company where it was like, this is it. And so then I sat down and I thought, you know what, for the same amount of investment, I could actually just start this company. I know exactly what's missing in the market. It's going to solve a problem, a challenge within my business. And so we're doing that right now. We're about to launch a month away from launching currently. We're going to run it within our company, collect all the data, and then take that to market for other companies.
So this is a software as a service.
Exactly.
Idea.
Exactly.
Amazing. I love how you decided to create this when you couldn't find any providers.
Exactly.
So this is an app that allows people influencers, so I'm guessing teachers or coaches, to connect with their audience.
Exactly, and there's going to be a custom version at a higher investment, or one where it's more templated and someone starting out can actually do this from the beginning.
Congratulations on starting a software as a service business. That's beautiful. So how do you know when you need to jump on an idea? Because surely you're seeing a market opportunity here. You know that this is a software that you would love to have. It doesn't exist, so you decide to build it.
Right.
But what's going on in your head? Are you doing this because you're calculating the ROI in terms of the revenue and the profitability you could get? Mm-hmm. Are you doing it because you're excited about it? Mm-hmm. Are you doing it because you love coding and building apps?
Right.
What's that motivation? Because and the reason I'm asking is because most entrepreneurs I know, their motivation is, okay, if I start this, I'm going to be able to raise this much money. I'm going to be able to flip it or sell it or generate that 5 years down the road, and I'm going to be able to cash out.
Totally. There's two elements. One is...
And again, I'm not saying that's bad.
No,
I'm just curious as to what is your motivation.
Of course, there's two. And one is exactly what you just described. My entrepreneur brain sees the potential and sees that in 5 years I can sell it, and I see all the numbers, right? I see that. I see the impact it's going to create in the industry. I see the opportunity for it right now. But there's also this other interesting piece, which in my language is divine guidance and intuition. And I really check in on the feeling, and I ask myself, is this something that feels totally aligned? Is this a yes? And I really tune in, and I notice if my body is saying yes. I really notice the feeling of, this is something that feels exciting and feels amazing and feels in alignment, versus no, it makes logical sense, but I'm not feeling it.
So let's explore that. Describe what it means to feel it. Describe what it means to have your body say yes.
Definitely.
How do we trust that?
Definitely. Well, I think sometimes it's easier to recognize your body saying no, firstly. And so sometimes there's like, for me, it's somewhere around my stomach, and it's like this kind of, people would call it a gut feeling, right? It's this gut feeling where it's like, no. Now, if you begin to recognize the no's, it becomes a lot easier to recognize when it's a yes, right? And generally, if you're an entrepreneur surrounded by opportunity, there should be a lot of no feelings, because otherwise you're saying yes to everything and jumping in 100 directions, right? Now, when you feel that no, and you feel that kind of in your gut that it just doesn't feel right now, you also need to really have discernment around, am I feeling a no because it's not the right time and it's not in alignment, or am I feeling fear? And those are two different feelings, right? Because sometimes it can be the best opportunity and it is a yes, but you're worried about it, or you're scared, or you're not sure how it's going to work, or you don't want to hire more people, or there's some layer of resistance. So if you can separate out, okay, this is a no because I feel no, versus, okay, this is a yes, but I'm feeling resistance, then that's when you get to burn the fear and shift the resistance and get to the yes.
Okay, so it's okay to feel a yes that also sense resistance, right? And that resistance is simply a tactical problem to solve to get to that creation.
Exactly, yeah. And every entrepreneur has resistance. I get told all the time, Regan, like, you're so lucky, you must have no more fear. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have fear all the time. I have self-doubt. I have lots of things internally come up. The difference between me and the difference between Vision and the difference between a lot of other people is that, quite simply, we don't let the resistance get in the way. We see it and we act in spite of it, versus letting it consume us and control us and keep us stagnant. That's
amazing. So at this point, Regan, I think it'll be great to have people actually go into an exercise that'll help them embody some of the ideas that you've been sharing. So for those of you who are watching, you saw Regan on stage at Mindvalley University, and at this point you probably have either seen that on our Mindvalley channel or you've heard that on the podcast, and that's a precursor to this conversation. It's important that you listen to that first. And there you would have been familiar with Regan's exercise on intention. What was the name of that exercise?
Energetic architecture.
So the energetic architecture exercise. Now what we're going to do here, for those of you who are members, is a more next level to that exercise. And you have a name for this.
Definitely. So this is really about creating your ideal reality through time travel.
All right. So tell us, what should we expect from this particular exercise?
So it's very easy. You get to really just close your eyes and listen to my voice and receive, and the only way to screw this up is to be not open to it, basically, or think it's not going to work. But otherwise it works directly through your conscious, through your subconscious, literally into your energetic field. And it starts shifting everything and recoding everything, so it's in more alignment with actually what you're looking to call in. So we'll go through a process where I'll get you to connect with one specific intention by a specific date. And from there, we're then going to look at what's really blocking you or stopping you in your field, and we're going to really start to shift some of that resistance by actually removing it out of your body and out of your field. And then from there, we're going to jump into your future and really lock in this intention so that we know that it's done.
I see. And so we should think of an intention or something that we want to create in our lives.
Exactly, and you want to make sure it's clear and specific. So for example, don't have an intention of financial freedom, because how do you measure that? What is that? Instead, it would be a certain amount of money by a certain date.
Got it. Okay, and does this intention have to be related to our business? Could it be in relation to family, to health, to anything else?
Absolutely, it could be with anything. As long as it's clear and you're able to somehow measure it, then that's all that matters. But it could be in relationship, it could be in health, any area of your life.
Perfect. You guys ready to get started? Let's begin.
So go ahead and get comfortable and close your eyes. That's it. Connecting right now to this one specific intention, this one specific manifestation, this one specific vision that you desire to call into your reality and have be fully manifested in the physical realm. And go ahead and just have awareness right now of the specific date in which you now choose that this manifestation be pulled into your physical reality, your physical life. Good. Having awareness of your body right now, and awareness of the fact that you're sitting literally at now in your moment of time. Go ahead and now just float up above now, float up out of your body, out of the room, that's it, and just turn your attention towards your past. Good. Give yourself a clear command to float back into your past, and float back all the way to that specific moment in time when you first felt the core of the resistance around this specific element that you're looking to manifest. That's it. You may see an event, you may feel an event, you may hear the event, you may do none of the above, you may just know that you're there. Either way is just perfect. You may be aware of the limitations and the resistance. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's sabotage, maybe it's self-doubt. Whatever it is for you, just be aware of it in your field right now. From this place, notice where this resistance shows up in your body. Maybe it's in your stomach, your gut, your heart, wherever it is for you. Just tune into the feeling in your physical body. Good. Go ahead and notice this feeling, and go ahead and turn this feeling into a shape. Notice what shape it naturally wants to take. And go ahead and now notice the color of it. Is it a dark color? Is it a dull color? If you don't know what color it is, just go ahead and give it the appropriate color right now. Good. Now notice that this element of resistance that has been stuck in your physical body is dense. Notice how heavy it is. That's it. And from this place, simply command that this density, this element in your physical body, simply shift out of your physical body. Request that it just moves out. Maybe it's hovering above you or beside you or in front of you, but just move it out of your body. Good. From this place, go ahead and change the color. Make it a desirable color to you. Good. And now go ahead and change the density so that it becomes lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. That's it. Remembering right now that you can either hold on to these limitations, these distortions in your field that were once blocking you or stopping you, or you can simply accept and receive the gifts that all of these patterns have for you, but you can't do both. From that place, go ahead and request that this shape now begins to spin. Good. Have it spin in front of you, spinning faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until it becomes literally white spinning light. That's it. Allow some gold to now be brought into this as you start to begin to notice that this is one of the greatest gifts that you will ever receive in one moment. Good. From this place, invite this shape that is spinning so fast, so bright, so white, so gold, and invite it back into your physical body, allowing it to this time come through your heart. Good. And as it begins to settle into your heart, allow it to literally explode and fragment through every cell of your physical body as every cell of your being begins to receive every part of this gift that once blocked you or stopped you, but now actually accelerates your process. Good. Allowing this to fully sink in and integrate into your physical body, your emotional body, your astral body, all of your bodies available to you right now. Go ahead and now turn your focus back towards now. Continue to float all the way back to now, hovering just above now. And take this moment to now pull up a screen that floats in front of you. Good. And as you draw your attention closer to the screen, you can't help but notice that as you look in the screen, there's a movie. And this movie is a movie of you, literally, having just achieved that manifestation, that intention, that vision in the moment, as you watch yourself achieving that in the screen, in the movie, right now. Notice all the details which are going on. Notice everyone who's around you or not around you. Notice all the sounds. Notice what you're saying to yourself. Notice every little element as you watch yourself achieving that manifestation in the screen right now. Good. And as you observe this movie, you notice that there is a dial which has appeared on the side of the screen. And as you reach out for the dial, you begin to play with it and you turn it up and you notice that this is the brightness of the screen. That's it. So go ahead and turn it all the way up. Make this movie so bright until it's so bright it's just pure white light. Good. Now go ahead and turn the dial down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, right down until all the brightness is gone and it's completely black. And now turn it up, turn it up, turn it up so it's somewhere in the middle. Absolutely perfect, so real and so bright as you watch yourself achieving this vision, this manifestation, this intention in the movie right now. Good. As you notice, there is a second dial which has now appeared. And as you reach out and play with this one, you start turning it up. That's it. And you notice that this is the saturation and the image becomes more and more and more saturated until you put it into full saturation and it looks like you're really watching yourself in a cartoon right now. And then turn it the other way, turn it right down and desaturate the movie. That's it, completely black and white. And now bring the color back and saturate it so it's somewhere in the middle, so it's just perfect, so real, exactly as it's meant to be, as you watch yourself achieving this divine manifestation in the movie right now. Good. As you notice, a third dial has appeared, and as you reach out to this one, you start turning it up, and you notice that this is the volume. And the more you turn it up, you notice that the sounds in the movie get louder and louder and louder, and what you're saying to yourself in your own head gets louder and louder and louder until you pull it up to full capacity, and then turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, until everything is just a whisper. That's it. Fade it out. And now put it somewhere in the middle. The perfect volume, exactly where it's meant to be, inside and out, as you hear yourself achieving this manifestation in the movie right now. Good. And as you notice, there is a fourth and final dial that has appeared. And as you reach out for this one, you're going to turn it up. And we're not going to turn this down because this is the feeling dial. That's it. So go ahead and crank this up. Notice all the feelings rush through your body as it feels literally electric towards yourself, literally achieving the movie in the screen right now. That's it. Go ahead, turn the dial up, turn it up, turn it up. And just when you think it's on absolutely full feeling, go ahead and double the emotion. That's it. Let it rush through your body. Let it double through every cell of your body. And just when you think it can't get any more vibrant or real or strong, go ahead and triple the emotion. That's it. Triple it up. That's it. And let it rush through every cell of your body as you notice what it feels like to be you, feeling you watching yourself in the movie right now. That's it. Now, with this feeling intact, go ahead and step into the movie, step into the screen. And now you are literally looking at the movie through your own eyes, fully associated, fully present, fully aware of every element that is going on in the movie right now. That's it. Notice everything that's happening around you. And this is your moment to make any final adjustments, to make it so real, so perfect, so divine, so in alignment, so easy for you right now, as you see yourself literally achieving this manifestation in the movie right now. That's it. Now from this place, go ahead and step back out of the movie and look at that divine, perfect movie screen that you have in front of you, and go ahead and pick up that screen and hold it out in front of you. That's it. Let it vibrate through your hands and through your arms as you notice the vital force energy that is literally flowing through as life force energy in the screen, vibrating through your hands and through your body and through your system right now. We're going to energize this with 3 breaths, breathing in, and then when we breathe out, you're going to put all of your energy, all of your soul into this manifestation. Breathing in and out. That's it. Put all your energy in. Second time, breathing in and out. That's it. Let it vibrate in your hands in front of you. Third and final time, breathing in and out. Good. Having that so vibrant, so alive right now, I want you to go ahead and turn your focus towards your future. That's it. Go ahead and now float out into your future. Float out all the way out, until you are there in the specific moment, the specific date that you chose, that you would actually lock in this reality. And from this place, go ahead and simply drop the screen down into place, allowing it to sink and settle and lock into place, into your future, into that moment, exactly where you chose it gets to be. Perfectly synced up, perfectly aligned. That's right. Now hovering just above that event, just before the event, looking down on that event from that perspective, choose that. That's it. With a heart full of gratitude, as you remember how powerful you really are, go ahead and continue to float all the way back to now, only as quickly as you can. Stop and notice all the events shift and reevaluate themselves in light of your divine manifestation. Notice the synchronicities that line up in order to support your process. Notice the people that come into your environment in full support of bringing this manifestation to life. Notice the version of you that you choose to bring to the table. Notice the beliefs that you now choose to embody to allow this to be easy, to allow it to be from a flow state, to allow it to be fun. Notice how everything shifts and realigns. Notice the timeline shifting in and out in order to support this manifestation that is done. It is done. It is done. That's it. Continuing to float all the way back to now. Hovering above now. Coming back down into now. Back into the room. Back into your body, settling into your body. And when you're ready, now you can open your eyes.
Wow, that was really, really, really powerful. I love how intense and how deep that went. So I hope you guys enjoyed that too. And as a bonus for you all, we're going to take this particular audio and it's going to be available for you, so you can re-listen to this anytime you want. Reagan, for someone who's applying this technique, how often should we do this exercise? Is it something you do once a a month and then forget about it? Do you do this every day?
Yeah, this is a great question. So for this specific intention or vision or manifestation, it's now done. There's no need to do it again unless you feel some sort of fear or resistance or self-doubt come up, in which case you can jump in and do this to rewire it. But otherwise it's done. However, you can do this multiple times. You could do it once a day if you want with different intentions and manifestations. You could do it with sub-intentions and manifestations that lock into the bigger goal that you just locked in.
I see. And so if you feel, and I think here we can apply the expectancy rule, if you already expect this to now come and you feel it's out there, it's going to happen, it's destined, then you're good. You don't have to repeat the exercise. But if something happens, and it could be something you see or you experience 2 weeks from now or a month from now, and a doubt creeps in, you can reapply the exercise.
Exactly, that's right. And I'll add in as well, some people have asked me through this, they've said through the process, sometimes they fall asleep. Right. And they've asked, is that bad? Do I need to do it again? Now, if you're in a place where you really want it to work and you're there and you're committed and you're doing the process, and for whatever reason your conscious mind actually shuts down and goes to sleep, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It means it's actually getting deep into your unconscious and you're letting everything work through you. So again, consider it done. However, if you just went, this isn't going to work, I'm going to go to sleep, of course it's not going to work.
Right. And so thank you so much. Now, just one final question. How is the exercise here different from the exercise you just did on stage?
So this one was a little bit deeper. We just pulled a little bit more of some elements into this. The one on stage went through some different modalities. We went into inner child healing. We just had a few more things jammed in there. So for the same amount of time, we just went into more of a deep dive with this versus the same amount of time on stage, but including more elements.
So for our subscribers, for our members, they should be doing this exercise.
They can do both. You can definitely do both. You could do the one from stage and then use this as a deep dive with something more specific.
I see. And so let's say we are looking to get our business to the next level. Mm-hmm. Do we start with the exercise you just did on stage at Mindvalley University, or do we go straight to this one?
I would start with the stage one. Yeah, I would start with that one because it's a little bit more general and it comes in from some different angles. And then with this one, really tune into what's blocking me, what's stopping me, and get really real with, is there fear there? Is there self-doubt there? Am I worried about how it's going to happen? Do I not know all the answers? Whatever it is the resistance is, really use this to tune into this, because this is just going to unlock it at a whole new level.
I see. So Thank you so much, Reagan. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for being our guest today.
Thanks for having me.
Take care, guys. And where can they find out more about